Hi, I'm Diane from Etu Pilates, and today I'm going to be taking you through an advanced mat class. A couple of things that we'll use today. If you do have a TheraBand, it would be good to have that with you. And if you've got a roller, we're going to be doing a few exercises with both of those props. But if you don't have them, it's not a problem. You can do all of the exercises without. So let's get started. We're going to lie down along the length of our roller. So placing it lengthwise on the mat, come down to the end of it and sit right on the very end of your roller. Then melt your spine down, bone by bone, onto the roller. We want to have our head on the top of the roller, so you may just need to adjust how you're lying on the roller to get both your tailbone and your head supported down on the roller. And as you're lying here, you'll feel your vertebrae pushing into the roller. You might feel your shoulder blades gripping onto the roller. Keeping our knees bent, keep our feet flat on the floor to start with. That will help support us. Having our forearms, wrists to our elbows down onto the mat also support our upper body and keep that roller stable. We're going to start today with some arm movements. So as you inhale, float the arms up to the ceiling. As you exhale, let the shoulders drop back. Hold the arms here, keep the elbows straight. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale as the shoulders relax back. We'll do a couple more, reaching forward and back. You'll feel your shoulder blades moving off the roller as you reach up towards the ceiling. And you'll feel them gripping around the roller as you let the shoulders drop back. Let's do one more. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, arms come back and float the arms down to the mat. This time we inhale to the ceiling, we take the arms overhead and inhale back to the ceiling. Exhale as the arms come down to the mat. Again, continue in your own time. As our arms go overhead, we're making sure we don't arch our lower back. We're keeping that rib to hip connection nice and stable. So if your arms won't go far enough overhead that you can touch the floor behind you, that's absolutely fine. Just allow the shoulders to move in their own time. And we're going to do one more. Exhale, bring the arms all the way back down. Okay, this time we're inhaling back to the ceiling. Exhale as the shoulders drop back. Then as you inhale, take the left arm out to the side. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, right arm goes out to the side. Exhale, bring it back. And just continue in your own time. Using that breath, you'll feel the roller move as one arm draws out to the side. So control that movement. Push a little into your feet to help keep the roller stable. And you may also need to reduce how far out you let those arms come. And we'll do one more to the right. Nice smooth movement. Hold it there. Float the arms back down to the mat for a micro rest. Inhale, float the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, let the shoulders drop back. This time we inhale, both arms go out. Exhale to bring them back. So we're thinking about our breathing. We inhale as the arms go out. We get a lovely stretch across the front of the shoulders. As we exhale, we start to scoop our belly as the arms come back in. So it's a nice smooth inhale to draw the arms out. Exhale as they come back. We've got two more. Inhale out. Exhale coming back. Last one. Nice deep breath. Exhale, push all that air back out. And then float the arms back down to the mat. This time we keep the arms down on the mat. We're going to keep our elbows to forearms down. You can push into your hands to help keep you stable, or for more challenge, you can take your arms off the mat and just anchor yourself with a fingertip grip for a bit more challenge, about a bit more of a challenge on the roller. We're working with our legs this time. We're going to inhale to float one leg to tabletop. Exhale to lower it back down. Other side, inhale, float. Exhale, back down. We'll do a couple more each way. Feel how the roller moves as you lift each leg to tabletop and back down. As you bring that leg down, start to use your core muscles to help hold your lower body still. Okay, a variation. We float one leg to tabletop, hold it there, and inhale, float the opposite hand up to the ceiling. Now, On the next inhale, you're going to reach both the arm and the leg away. Exhale to bring them back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bring them back. Just keep going in your own time. Again, you're pushing into the hand. You can push into the grounded foot to help keep you nice and stable on the roller. But this is a real balance challenge. We'll do one more on this side. Reach long. Exhale, bring it back. Float everything down. Now we change to the other side. Float the opposite leg to tabletop first, and then float the opposite arm up to the ceiling. Inhale, reaching away. Exhale to bring it back. So really think length from the fingertip all the way to the toes. And so somebody is pulling your toes, someone else is pulling your fingers. You're at the rope in a tug of war. Someone's stretching your body nice and long. We've got one more. So inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it back, and float arm and leg back down onto the mat. Okay, a nice little stretch to do while we're up on the roller. If you're comfortable and your back enjoys a little bit of extension, gently walk your feet away from the roller until your legs are straight, or as straight as you're comfortable for them to go. Hanging in this position, you'll find you're getting a nice little arch in your lower back, so a little bit of extension in your lower back. You'll be getting a stretch down the front of the hip, the thighs, and maybe even across the tummy. Now this might be enough stretch for you today, but another variation to add on is to cross one ankle over the opposite knee and allow that knee, the weight of that knee, to draw the hip out to the side and open up a little bit more in the front of the hip. It does make the body want to roll in that direction, so you may find you have to push a little bit more into that elbow to hold you stable. And then uncross that leg, cross the other one over, trying to get comfortable. Make sure the ankle is above the knee. Don't have it resting on the knee, or you may end up hyperextending that knee joint. And again, it's the weight of that knee, the weight of the thigh, that's drawing the hip out and opening up those muscles, stretching those muscles around the hip joint. On an exhale, we uncross that leg, foot comes down on the mat, walk your feet back in towards the roller, and now we're going to come off the roller. We do that by just gently rolling to the side. We brace ourselves on that elbow, roll off the roller, and then push it away as you lie back down. And coming onto the mat, we're going to take a couple of breaths. Just enjoy the feeling of lying on our back after being on the roller. It feels like everything's had a mini massage. Your shoulder blades will feel really active. You'll be able to feel them pushing into the mat. So it's a nice feeling to enjoy. And now we're going to warm up our lower spine, our lower back, by doing some pelvic tilts. So in this position, we've got our knees bent, feet are roughly hip width distance apart. Our shoulders feel fantastic, they're wide on the mat. We take a breath in. As we exhale, we roll our pelvis back and push our spine into the mat. Inhaling, we roll the pelvis forward, allow the back to arch, and carry on rolling back, rolling forward, in time with your breath. Thinking about the exhale, thinking about drawing the tummy button back towards the spine. As you inhale, think about relaxing those tummy muscles and letting the back arch. We're going to do a couple more in each direction. It's a really nice stretch to do in our lower back, and it's a good one to warm up before we start doing other movements. And on your next exhale, just come back into your neutral spine position and pick up your TheraBand. We're going to use the TheraBand today to warm up or to stretch our hamstrings. So bend one leg so that you can get the TheraBand on the sole of the foot. And if you can, the other leg is glued down onto the mat. It's going to help keep your body nice and stable. Elbows are locked down onto the mat, so you adjust the tension on the TheraBand first. Work out how much resistance you want on that TheraBand. Elbows locked down onto the mat, then draw the leg in towards you and back it off. Bring it a little bit closer and release. One more, draw the leg in, and this time as you release it, it lowers all the way down to the mat, and then we bring it back up. It might come a little bit further towards you, or it might not. And carry on with this nice smooth movement, drawing the leg up, lowering the leg down. And last one, bring that leg back up in towards the body. Take the TheraBand in the opposite hand, so both ends of the TheraBand. Rotate the toes of the lifted leg towards the opposite shoulder, and then draw that leg across your body. So this is our ITB stretch. You'll feel the muscles up the outside of the thigh, maybe into the back of the hip, getting a lovely stretch here. Adjust the TheraBand. You control how much tension goes on that stretch by how much length you allow in the TheraBand. Nice deep breath in. On the next exhale, bend that knee, bring the leg back to center, straighten the leg, take the TheraBand into the opposite hand and allow that leg to draw out to the side. We want to keep our hips down on the mat. We don't want to roll over to the side that the leg's out on. If you need to, you can bend the other knee, bring it up to your chest as a counterweight. That'll help keep your hips locked down onto the mat. And again, on the next exhale, bend the knee, bring the leg back in and swap to the other leg. So bring the opposite leg up into the TheraBand. First leg goes down long on the mat, we glue it down. Again, adjusting that TheraBand, shoulders are nice and wide on the mat, elbows are locked down onto the mat, and draw that leg in towards your body. Then back it off and draw it back in. Release that stretch a little, one more, draw it in, and then all the way down to the mat. Keep those elbows locked in. This movement is just about the hip joint and it's moving the leg nice and smoothly up and down. We've got one more. Leg might come in a bit closer. Lower it down. This time bring that leg in and hold. Take the TheraBand in the opposite hand. Again, turn the toes towards the opposite shoulder and draw that leg across your body. Just take it as far as is comfortable. We don't want to be in agony, but it is a strong stretch up the outside of the thigh. Nice deep breath in, and then bend the knee, bring the leg back through center, swap the TheraBand to the opposite hand, and allow that leg to draw out to the side. If you need to, bend the other knee, bring it into the chest as a counterweight, and we just hold it here for a couple of breaths. Allow the inner thigh muscles to stretch. And on the next exhale, bend that leg, bring it back to center. We swap back to the first leg. So first leg comes back up into the TheraBand, foot is still flexed, the other leg's long down on the mat. They should both feel nice and stretched now. So take the TheraBand one end in either hand and lock the elbows down onto the mat. We're going to do leg circles 1. So on the inhale, leg circles across the body, and exhale as it comes back out to the side. And keep going. We want 4 in this direction. Nice smooth circles. Our hips are not rolling from side to side, so those hips are glued down onto the mat. And when you've done 5 in the first direction, pause when the leg comes up to the top and inhale as it reverses and goes out to the side. Then circles across the body. Keep that heel flexed, keep that heel reaching long, so the muscles all the way down the leg are active. We've got one more in this direction. Leg comes back up to the top, pause there, bend the knee and swap to the other foot. So the second foot goes up in the TheraBand, first leg is long, glued down onto the mat. Adjust the TheraBand if you need to. The foot is flexed, so that heel is active. And when you're ready, inhale to circle the leg across the body, exhale as it comes out to the side. And just keep going, a nice smooth circle. That heel is lengthening all the time, reaching long away from the hip joint. Last one in this direction, pause at the top of the circle and reverse. So the leg goes out to the side and then comes across the body. Try and keep the circles nice and round. They don't have to be very big, but a round movement means we're getting a lovely stretch right through that hip joint. We've got one more in this direction. Pause when the knee comes back up to the top. Bend that knee. Take the TheraBand off the leg. Place the TheraBand down beside you on the mat. Okay, from here, we're going to come into our single leg stretch. So we bring one leg to tabletop and then lengthen it up towards the ceiling. The other leg is long on the mat. Now, You can do the single straight leg stretch with your head down on the mat, or for an extra challenge, you can exhale up into a chest lift. So when you're ready, it's an inhale to swap, exhale, extend, and swap. Pull that leg in and swap. We'll do one more like this and swap. Next time when you swap, we're going to pulse it. So 2 breaths and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse. One more per side. Last one. Pause when the legs come back together, bend them into tabletop, lower back down, pull your knees in towards your chest, gentle rock from side to side, turning the head to relieve any tension in the neck. Okay, this time we're going back into our single straight leg stretch, but we're turning it into a crisscross movement. So lengthening from tabletop and lengthening the legs up towards the ceiling, we're going to interlace our hands, place them behind our head, and take a breath in. Exhale up into the chest lift. As you inhale, one leg lengthens. Exhale, rotate the elbow towards the opposite knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we rotate to the opposite side. Inhale back to center and exhale. And keep going. Keep that back elbow reaching back behind you, keeping our tummy scooped to help hold us nice and high. And we've got one more per side. And last one. Pause there. Bend the knees to tabletop. Lower everything down. Pull the knees into the chest. Gentle rock from side to side. Okay, legs are back in tabletop again for our next exercise. We're doing bent knee fall out in tabletop position. You can have your arms out beside you on the mat to help keep your upper body stable, or you may want to have your hands resting on the front of your hips to get feedback about any movement in the leg that you want to stay still. So when you're ready, it's an inhale to allow one leg to draw out to the side. Keep that knee bent in tabletop. Exhale to bring it back and swap. Inhale, leg draws out. Exhale, we bring it back and keep going. Keeping our fingers on our hips, you'll feel if the leg that stays up is moving. We want that knee to stay still. We want that hip to stay still. On the next one, let that leg draw out to the side, and if you choose, hold it there, straighten the leg and bend. It's an exhale to bring it back. Other side, inhale to open, exhale, extend, inhale to bend, exhale, bring it back. We'll do one more like that. Extend and bend, leg comes back. Last one. Inhale, then straighten and bend. Exhale, bring it back. Nice work. Hug the knees in towards the chest again. And let's do a little bit of a glute stretch. So, first of all, place both feet down on the mat. Then take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. To start with, just push the right knee away to open up the hip. But then, if you would like a little bit more stretch, draw the left thigh in towards your body. The right elbow keeps pushing that right knee away, and we hold it in this stretch. It can be quite an intense stretch, so adjust it. If it's too much, just back it off, or you may want a little bit more stretch. On an exhale, you may want to bring that thigh a little bit closer. And let's release that off. Keep the ankle crossed over that knee for a second, and as you inhale, allow that foot to stay on the ankle but roll all the way over to the side. Try and get the sole of the foot down on the mat if you can. You may even want to turn your head to the opposite side for a full rotational stretch. Taking a couple of deep breaths. And as you exhale, scoop the belly to draw those legs back up to the top. Uncross the legs. Let's do the other side. So cross the left ankle over the right knee. Push the left knee away first. And then draw the right thigh in towards the body. Left elbow can push into the left knee to deepen that stretch through the hip, through the back of the glute. Holding it here for a couple of deep breaths. Release that thigh, foot comes down, keeping the left foot where it is, allow the knees to draw across to the right. So the sole of the left foot goes all the way down onto the mat if it can. We turn the head to the other side if our neck's okay with that. And we take some deep breaths in here. Just allow those muscles to stretch up through the back of the hip. And on the next exhale, scoop the belly, draw those knees back up, uncross the legs. Both feet stay down on the mat. We're coming into our bridging exercises. So we're going to start today with our legs parallel, both feet down on the floor. Our shoulders are nice and broad and wide. We can start with our hands, palms down, or if you would like a little opening in the front of the shoulders, you can rotate from the wrists. Just rotate from the wrists, don't move the arms, keep the arms down. But if you rotate from the wrists and turn the palms up, that also opens up the shoulders slightly. And from here, take a breath in. Then as you exhale, roll the pelvis back, pushing into our feet, we come up into our bridge. Take a breath in. Exhale, melt the spine, bone by bone, all the way back down. And again, inhale, exhale, drawing up into that bridge. Tuck our tailbone in when we get to the top. Exhale, soften the spine between the shoulder blades and melt all the way down. We've got one more. Exhale, rolling back, peeling up into that bridge, keeping that rib to hip connection so we're not arching into the back. And as we exhale, we articulate every vertebrae all the way back down. Now you can keep going like that with that style of bridge, or if you'd like a challenge, take your TheraBand, place it around the sole of one foot. That leg goes straight up into the air. So we're going to be doing single leg bridging. All right, the TheraBand is going to add resistance as we bridge up. We're keeping our elbows locked down on the mat. So you can adjust how much tension or how much resistance you give that leg as you bridge up. All right, taking a breath in. As you exhale, roll the pelvis back, peeling up off the mat. Take a breath in when you get as high as you can. Exhale, coming all the way down. You'll notice you can't go so high because you're on one leg. But what's really important as you bridge up is using the grounded leg, really pushing your weight into that grounded leg and really activating that glute muscle. Now on the next one, if you choose to hold it up, we're going to lower that leg and lift for 3. And one more. Leg comes back up, we take a breath in, and we bridge all the way back down. Now swapping to the other leg. Place the first leg down on the mat. Make sure you've got the TheraBand secure on the sole of your foot. And adjust how much tension you want in the TheraBand on that leg. Elbows are locked down on the mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, bridging up. Take a breath in. Exhale, coming back down. One more like that. Exhale, coming up into our bridge. You can feel the resistance. Hold it as you take a breath in. Exhale, lower. On the next one, if you choose, we're adding the leg movement. Down and back up for 3. This is 2. Last one. Really push into that grounded leg. Take a breath in and bridge all the way down. Bend that knee. Take the TheraBand off. Place it back down on the mat. Okay, we're going to come into our chest lift series. If you choose, you can grab your roller and use the roller for a little bit of extra extension as well as a little bit of extra challenge. Otherwise, just carry on, just do the exercises without the roller. But if you're using the roller, we're going to keep our knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're going to have the roller placed underneath our shoulder blades. So for women, that's about bra strap level. We'll be supporting our head and neck by interlacing our hands behind our head. And we're not going to be curling our tailbone under. Our tailbone is going to stay in its neutral spine position. We're going to be working into our upper body. So to start with, keeping our elbows quite wide, but still forward enough to be able to see them in your peripheral vision. Inhale and allow the head to draw back over the roller, so we're getting a little bit of extension. On the exhale, tuck the chin in, scoop the belly, come up into our chest lift. Inhale, we roll back. So this is a lovely way to get some stretch happening in our thoracic spine, which is usually quite hard to stretch because the ribs hold everything so tight. It's an inhale to curl back. It's an exhale to curl up. But again, we're not sinking into that lower back. We scoop the belly, but we don't round through the tailbone. So everything stays nice and connected. And last one, coming back up. Now from here, we're going to float one leg to tabletop. We're going to hold it there. We're going to inhale to roll back. As we come up, we're going to extend that leg out. We inhale to come back over the roller. And exhale, leg extends. Let's do two more. Rolling back. Exhale, leg extends. Last one. Roll back. Exhale, leg extends. Come back into tabletop, place that leg down. Other leg comes up into tabletop. We inhale to roll back over the roller. Exhale, come up, leg extends. Inhale, back. Exhale, leg extends. And back. Nice work. Keep going. Keep that leg reaching long. We've got two more. Lower back's really not moving. This is much more about the upper back. Bring that leg back into tabletop. Pause. Lower that leg down onto the mat. Now we're going to come off our roller and place that roller back down on the mat. We're going to come back into a chest lift series. We're going to do double leg extension. So with our hands interlaced behind our head, we've got our legs up in tabletop. We're going to turn our heels, we're going to have our heels together and turn our toes out. And we're going to come up on an exhale into our chest lift. Then as we inhale, we press that Pilates V forward and bring it back. Exhale, press and bring it back. And press, bring it back. We've got two more. Reach. We're keeping that belly scooped. Last one. Bring it back. Pause there. Roll back down. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Little rock from side to side. Okay, we're going to come to sitting now. To do that, we're going to have our legs in tabletop, tuck our hands in behind, and come up in an assisted roll-up move. So take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck the chin, pushing into the thighs, elegantly coming up to sitting. Grab hold of your TheraBand. We're sitting with nice long legs, and we're sitting flat on those sit bones. Our feet are flexed, and we're going to place the TheraBand around the sole of the feet. So again, this one's about resistance, and this time the resistance is going to be for our arms and shoulders. So we're going to do an exercise, a couple of exercises that are variations of rowing exercises. Okay, so sitting nice and tall, we've got our elbows in line with our shoulders down beside our body. We inhale to lengthen. As we exhale, we draw those elbows back. Inhale to release. Exhale, draw them back. Keep the gaze straight ahead. Keep our shoulders relaxed. Keep that length through our spine from our crown down to our tailbone. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're not super rigid. All the muscles are connected, holding us nice and tall. Let's do two more. So exhale, draw back. Inhale, release. Last one. And release. Now we cross the TheraBand over. It's a similar exercise, starting off with our elbows under our shoulders, but this time as we draw the TheraBand out to the side, then we release it off. So adjust the tension on the TheraBand, keeping our posture upright, keeping that length from the crown of our head. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw the TheraBand out and release. And exhale, elbows out, bring them back. Keep going, keeping that gaze straight ahead. Shoulders are relaxed, the neck's relaxed, we're not carrying any tension here. The muscles we feel moving are mainly in the arms, maybe in the back, maybe in the legs, holding us up nice and tall. We've got two more here. Elbows out and release. Last one and release. TheraBand can come off the feet. Place it down beside you on the mat. Grab your roller again. And we're going to come into some prone work. So we're going to be lying down on our tongue. We're going to have the roller out in front of us. To start with, let's make sure our lower body is set up. So when we're working in this prone position, we have our tailbone tucked under, slight press of the pubic bone into the mat, and a lift in our tummy. We're starting with the roller out in front of us. We're going to have our arms on the roller, either the side of the arms or the palms, whichever's more comfortable for you. Our head is going to be hovering off the mat, but we're keeping our gaze down on the mat. This is a very small movement. It's about moving our shoulders. So on the next inhale, you're going to push the roller forward. As you exhale, keep the elbows straight. Draw the roller back. Push the roller forward. Exhale to draw it back. So it's a very small move. And you'll just feel your shoulders lifting as you inhale and dropping back as you exhale. Let's do one more. And draw it back. On the next one, inhale to push the roller forward. And if you're feeling up to it, as you exhale, peel the front of your chest up off the mat. Inhale, push the roller forward. Exhale, peel up off the mat. Keep the gaze down on the mat. If this is not working for you, go back to the first exercise or come off the roller and just do it work into your prone extension without the roller. But we shouldn't be feeling any tightness in our lower back. If you are, then perhaps don't lift quite so high. Let's do one more. Exhale, peeling up. Inhale, push the roller forward. Now, coming off the roller, just place it out to the side. We're going to come into prone extension and then go up into swan. But before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of work with extension in our lower back by lifting our legs one at a time up to hip height. So this time we can have our hands crossed one on top of the other. Place our forehead down on our hand. Our head is not going to move. We're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, we reach one leg away and float the foot up. Inhale to lower. Swap to the other side. And lower. And keep going from side to side. Feel length from the toes all the way back up to the hip as you lift that leg. We've got one more each side. And lower. Last one. And lower. Now bringing our hands underneath our shoulders so that our elbows come up, pointing up towards the ceiling. Forehead's either on the mat or hovering just off the mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, push the elbows and shoulders down. Peel the nose and the front of the chest up. Hold it at prone extension. Take a breath in. Exhale, push into the hands, straighten the elbows, come up into swan one. Take a breath in there. Exhale, bend the elbows and peel the body back down on the mat, tucking the nose under. Inhale, exhale, push the elbows down. Come up to prone extension, just to the bottom rib. Then take a breath in. Exhale, keep pushing into the hands, straighten the elbows, come back up. Breath in at the top and bend the elbows as you come all the way back down. Now we're going to do one more like that. You can stop here at prone extension if that's enough for you and you don't want to carry on all the way up to the swan. And then come back down. Now a little variation if you choose. You can either keep doing swan one or we can add some rotation that looks like this. We take a breath in. Exhale, come up into prone extension, and then as you go to come up into swan one, roll the hips back, pick up that leg, allow it to go back behind your body and look over that top shoulder. So I'm looking over my right shoulder, my right leg has gone behind my body. Breath in. As I exhale, I roll back to the front and peel back down. And we swap to the other side. Breath in. Exhale, come up to prone extension first. Take a breath in. And then exhale, roll across to the other side, looking over that opposite shoulder. And breath in. And exhale, coming back. Let's do one more like that per side. Inhale, exhale, elbows come down, up to prone extension. Inhale, then exhale. rotate back as we come through swan. Breath in, exhale, we come forward and back down onto the mat. Last one, exhale, come up to prone extension and take a breath in. Exhale, push up into swan and rotate. Take a breath in. Exhale as you roll back down onto the mat. Now we're going to come back into child's pose for a counter stretch. So pushing our hips back down onto our heels. You can have your knees together or knees apart. You can have your hands out above your head. You can bring them down beside your legs, whichever version is comfortable today. But wherever you position yourself in child's pose, we're trying to breathe into the back of our rib cage to really expand the muscles between our ribs. And then coming back up, grab a drink if you need one, which I do. And we're going to pick up our roller again for a version of mermaid. Now, you can do mermaid without the roller, but if you choose to add the roller into your mermaid today, it adds a little bit of challenge, but it also gives you the ability to roll further to one side, and therefore you get a bigger stretch. Okay, so you can sit in the classic mermaid position, the Z sit position. If that's not comfortable for you, you can do this exercise, most of this exercise, with one leg extended and the roller as well. So we're going to be rolling just to one side. We're going to be flexing over to one side onto the roller. So sitting up on it nice and tall on our sit bones, we have the hand on the roller on the side of the bent knee. Inhale to lengthen up off your hips. As you exhale, push that roller away. The other arm flexes over the top of your head. Breathe in. Exhale to come back up. So you'll feel how that roller is giving you more movement, but also giving you more challenge through the shoulder and through the ribs to hold you nice and tall. One more like this. Reach those fingers long and come back up. This time we're going to hold it and add our thread the needle. So get into our mermaid first. Reach, reach, reach. Take a breath in as you rotate and slide that hand underneath the other arm. Now hold it here. Inhale, arm comes up to the ceiling. Exhale, we thread the needle again. Inhale, back to the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, arm comes back up to the ceiling. We sit back up nice and tall. Okay, now we're going to do a couple more mermaids and we're going to add a leg movement. If you're not using the roller, it's not quite as easy to do this leg movement. So you might prefer to just stay with your normal mermaid, and that's fine. Otherwise, other hand comes out to the side. We inhale. As we exhale, we flex over and that leg straightens out beside us. And then we come back up. That's it. Exhale. Reach toes, reach fingers long. Take a breath in. Exhale to come back into mermaid. We've got one more. Exhale to flex, point and reach everything. Inhale there. Exhale to come back up. And now we swap the roller to the other side and we swap our legs around to the other side. Getting ourselves comfortable. We're going to do the same movement on this side. So again, if you choose, you can have one leg out straight. It just makes it a bit more tricky for doing the side movement. But any of the variations that we went through on the other side will be fine on this side as well. Okay, so when we're ready, arms out to the side. Inhale to sit nice and tall. Exhale, flex over onto the roller. Reach the top fingers away. Take a breath in. Exhale, back up to sit. And exhale again. Reach, reach, reach. Coming back, we've got one more like that. So again, the shoulder and the ribs are helping keep the body connected and upright. This time we reach the top fingers long, hold it there, take a breath in. Exhale as you rotate and thread the needle. Inhale, arc that hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle. And arc. We've got one more. Reach those fingers away behind you. Inhale back to the ceiling and come back up to sit nice and tall. Now we're adding the leg, should you choose to. So inhale, exhale as you roll across, mermaid first, reach the toes away and come back up to sit. Beautiful. And exhale to reach. Toes and fingers, feels like someone's pulling on them. Take a breath in. Exhale to come back up. We've got one more. Reaching long and come back up to sit. Okay, from here, moving into our quadruped position, we're going to use our roller underneath our forearms. So this is a bit easier on the wrists. And I find I end up having, instead of having my arms straight on the roller, they tend to go out in a triangle, and I always tend to grip onto my hands. You might find that helps you as well. So find that position, try and have the elbows very close to being underneath the shoulders, and we want the knees underneath the hips. It does change slightly the alignment, and it does increase the challenge a little bit as well. So from here, we're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, reach one leg back, we lift it up, we lower, we slide it back under. Exhale, other side, lengthen, lift, and lower. We're going to go back to the first leg, we lift and we hold, we go up and down, up, all the way down, and lift, and lower. Try to keep your gaze down on the mat, about the same level as your hands. Keep pushing into your elbows, keep those shoulders active. We've got one more, lower that leg down, bring it all the way back. Other side, extend and lift. Toe taps down and lifts. Keep that gaze down in front of your hands. It's tempting to look under to see what your legs are doing, but that will give you a kink in the neck if you do that. We've got two more. Keep those toes long, keep the leg reaching away, bring the knee back. And then you can sit back for a little bit of a mini break, take the weight off your elbows and forearms. We're coming back into the same position. This time we extend one leg, we lift. We're going to hold it here, bend the knee, flex the foot and straighten. Bend and flex and straighten. So when we're doing this, we're keeping the thigh as still as we can. It's just the knee moving that lower leg. You'll feel your glute muscle working, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to activate that glute. Keep pushing into the elbows. We've got one more. Exhale to bend. Inhale, we straighten, lower that leg down, and swap to the other side. So lift first, hold it there, bend and flex, and straighten. Bend and flex, and straighten, and keep going. Keep that gaze down in front of you on the mat. Try and keep that thigh nice and still. That thigh and the glute muscle doing all the work to hold the leg up and allow you to bend and flex. Last one, and flex. Lower that leg down. Sit back for a minute, but we are going to come back onto our forearms on the roller. And this time, we're going to tuck our toes under. Taking a breath in, as we exhale, we just float the knees up an inch off the mat. Inhale to lower. Exhale to float. Inhale down. So it's a very small movement, but you'll feel the work happening in your glutes and your thighs, maybe in your lower back. Try not to use your lower back. Try to use that core. And one more. Now we're adding on. We lift, hold it there. Reach one foot back. Reach the other foot back. First leg comes back. Second leg comes back, and we lower. This time we're going to swap sides. So float, right leg back, left leg back. Right leg in, left leg in, and lower. Swap again. Float, left leg back, right leg back. Left leg in, right leg in, and lower. One more. Float, right leg back, left leg back, right leg in, left leg in, and lower. Whew, sitting back, roller comes out of the way. We're going to come back into quadruped for a pigeon stretch. So from our quadruped position, swivel the legs over to the left, pick up the left foot, slide that leg long behind you. Now, you can come down into pigeon in quite an upright position. Bring your hands in closer to your legs and look up at the ceiling. You'll get a little bit of extension. If you find it challenging to get into a low pigeon stretch, this is a good way to approach it. As the muscles relax, you can gradually let your body sink down, maybe even get your head down onto the mat, or not. It's still a really good movement. And then let's come out and swap to the other side. Into quadruped first, swivel the feet over to the right, pick up the right leg, slide it back behind you. And again, you can choose to walk the hands in towards you to stay nice and upright, look towards the ceiling, maybe get a little bit of extension, and then when the muscles are starting to relax and stretch, coming down as far down as is comfortable for you into this stretch, allowing those hip muscles, hip joint to stretch as the weight of the body eases down towards the mat. And coming out of that one, we're going to come up sitting with our legs out nice and long. We're going to do a combination of exercises. We're going to do a combination of spine stretch, we'll take it into spine twist, we'll take it into saw, and then we're going to top it all off with a full roller. Okay, so prepare yourselves, you'll be fine. We want to do each of the individual exercises in their own right, and then we'll be putting it all together. If at any time during this sequence it's something is just not right for you today, then go back to the part of the sequence that you enjoyed, that your body felt good doing. Okay, so we're sitting with our legs down towards the end of the mat so that we've got enough room when we come to do our roller. We're going to start with our spine stretch. So our arms are out parallel to the mat. We inhale to feel that length from the crown of our head. Exhale as we roll the tailbone under and scoop the belly. Then inhale to push the arms forward towards our feet. And exhale, we stack it back up. We've got a couple more. Exhale, roll the tailbone, scoop the belly, push the arms forward as you inhale. Exhale, we stack it up. And one more. Roll that tailbone back and reach the arms forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, stacking up nice and tall. Okay, from here we're going to take it into our spine twist. Now, when we're doing our spine twist, what we want to be conscious of is keeping those feet still. So as we twist, our feet stay exactly where we started. They don't slide, do the clutch and accelerator back and forth. We want our hips to stay nice and stable. So just be aware of that as we move through the twist. We're going to take our arms out wide. Inhale to lengthen our hips up off our ribs. Other way around, ribs up off our hips. Exhale, let's rotate to the left. And inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate to the right, keeping those heels down on the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left, looking back over that shoulder. And exhale to the right. We've got one more per side. Exhaling round, keeping those arms out, really lengthening, opening up across the chest. And back to center. Now, from here we're going to take it into saw, which is a combination of a spine stretch and a twist. We do the twist first. So we exhale and rotate round to the left, and then inhale as you scoop the belly and flex forward to get that front hand to the outside of the opposite foot. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, rotate to the other side, and then inhale, flex forward. We want to get the hand to the outside of the opposite foot. And again, rotate first, then flex. Feel like someone's pulling the back of your pants so that you're scooping through that belly. Exhale round and flex. The hand towards the back is reaching long. If you can, on the next one, look back towards that back hand. Inhale back to center. Exhale and saw. Inhale back to center. Pause there. Okay, we're going to go back and we're going to go back into twist, rotate to the left. When we come back to center, our arms are coming out parallel to the mat, and we're going to roll down. Then we'll roll back up and we'll rotate round to the right. Okay, so let's have a go at this combination. Arms are out in airplane arms. We inhale, lift our ribs up off our hips. Exhale, rotate to the left, flex and soar. And then inhale, come back to center and pause. Arms are parallel to the mat. As you exhale, roll your tailbone under and peel your body down onto the mat. Inhale as your arms go overhead, pause there. Inhale, float your arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck your chin and peel your body off the mat. Let's enjoy a little stretch by allowing our head to come towards our knees. Inhale, sit tall as you take your arms out to the side, and exhale, rotate to the right and flex. We soar. Inhale, come back up to center. Arms are parallel. Exhale as we roll down onto the mat. Arms go overhead. Inhale, float the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, coming all the way up, head to knees for a lovely lower back stretch. Inhale, sit tall, arms out to the side. We've got one more each side. Rotate and soar. Inhale, back to center. Arms parallel. Scoop through the belly, tuck the tailbone under. We're rolling down onto the mat. Inhale, float the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, peeling up off the mat, head to our knees. Inhale, come up to sit nice and tall. Arms out to the side. Exhale, we rotate to the right. We flex, we soar. We inhale, come back up. Arms in front. Last one, rolling all the way down. Arms go overhead. Inhale, float them back up to the ceiling. Tuck the chin and rolling all the way out. Let's come overhead towards our knees. Hold on to your legs, your ankles or your feet for a lovely lower back stretch. Taking some deep breaths into the back of the ribs, head hangs heavy. On the next exhale, let's stack it back up to sitting. Okay, a few things to finish off today. Nice little stretch, a nice lunge. So come into our high kneeling position. So both knees down and take your right foot forward. So the right foot, we want that foot to be in front of the right knee. If you've got your balance, hands can go onto that front knee. Inhale, keep your gaze forward. Exhale, sink into that lunge. Now you can hold it here if that's enough stretch, or else inhale again. Exhale, deepen a little bit more. We've got one more. Inhale. Exhale to deepen. Take a breath in and then straighten that front leg. Hands come down to the mat. You can lift the front toes or keep them down. But imagine again, someone's pulling the back of your pants, so you're getting a lovely stretch, lovely flexion stretch through the lower spine. And then come forward, we're going to swap to the other side. So both knees back down to high kneeling. Bring the left foot forward. Adjust that foot to be comfortable for you. Hands on the knees, again breathing in, feel that length from the crown, and exhale, sink into that lunge. Inhale, exhale to deepen, and one more. Shoulders stay nice and relaxed. As you inhale again, straighten the front leg, hands come down to the mat. Keeping the toes down or letting them lift, either is a good option. You can even flex and point between both. You'll feel those leg muscles getting a lovely stretch. And then coming back into our high kneeling, we're going to finish with a modified roll up to start with. I'll show you how we get into it. And if at any stage we're going to be inverted for a few breaths, if that is uncomfortable for you or you feel lightheaded, please just sit down again like this. Otherwise, tucking our toes under, making sure our hands are quite close to our knees. Take a breath in, look down at the mat. As you exhale, lift your knees up and straighten your legs so that your head hangs down between your shoulders and you're looking pretty much at your kneecaps. Inhale, sit back down. So it's an exhale to straighten and hang loose here. Allow the neck to relax, and it's an inhale to sit back down. We're going to do one more. Exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale, sit back down. On this next one, we're going to finish off by coming up in a standing roll up. So straighten the knees, head hangs heavy. Walk the hands a little bit closer towards your feet. Soften the knees if you need to. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone and engage the legs, engage the core, rolling ourselves up into a standing position. Well done. That is the end of today's advanced class.